December 5th and 6th.
Okay.
Yep. Coming up 5 more weeks. So tomorrow's a 25-mile run. And then Sunday is a 20-mile run. So
I've done those.
Yeah. Yep. It's going to be fun. Back to back is what makes it tough. Like, I mean, I guess a 25-mile run is always tough, but back to back is going to be going to be killer. So
yeah, I started training again, and then I got this awful cold, and I'd go for a run, and then the next day I'd just be flat on my back. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that until I'm better.
Yeah, it's always hard to, and then you're more likely to get sick when you're training hard. So
yeah, well, I got a cold from my wife. Thanks for sharing, dear. And yeah, so anyway, but yeah, so I'm just gonna start training on Monday. I figure if I take the weekend to kind of finish recuperating. Of course, I've been working like a dog on this summit. So,
are you training for? Are you going to do another marathon? Is that the plan, or?
No, I told my father-in-law what I was going to do, and he's like, because when I told him I was going to train for a marathon, he's like, all right, whatever. Told him what my next plan was, and he's like, you're crazy.
What's your plan now?
I'm going to sign up for the St. George Ironman.
The Ironman. Oh shit. That's going to be insane. So, but now you got to do the biking and the swimming element too, though.
Yeah, I bought a bike. And I'm going to so I found a training regimen that I can stick to. And it's essentially, so you work out, you do 6 days a week training.
Yeah.
And you just alternate. So you run an hour one day, the next day you bike an hour, and the next day you swim an hour.
Okay.
And then after a month you up at 10%. So then you're doing like an hour 6. And but you up at 10% every week for that.
Okay.
For when you're 5 months out and 4 months out, and then you start getting really specific on your stuff. But
interesting. Yeah. Well, that'll be really interesting. Yeah. An Ironman is like that's more than a marathon, because it's a marathon plus the bike.
It's a marathon plus a century bike ride plus a 2.5 mile swim. Yeah.
I think, or maybe 3 miles, something around there.
It's something like that.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's a good. I mean, it's the equivalent of running like a 50-mile race, basically.
Yeah. I'm planning on just hitting it. It's funny because I talked to somebody and they compared like half Ironman to like a 50-miler run, and said that it's about the same exertion.
For a half Iron, I would say it's about a full, because it's about the same time. Because an Ironman takes about, like, the average Ironman time is, I think, around like 9 hours,
something like that. Yeah.
And a 50-mile like average time would be about 9 hours.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't really matter.
But yeah, that's cool though. That's gonna be awesome.
You're doing both in one day.
I'm just gonna I'm gonna do a 100-miler and an Ironman back to back. No,
24 hours.
Yeah. So I'm starting to train for an Ironman.
And how long do you have? Like, when's the date of it?
It's the first weekend in May.
Whoa.
That's not a lot of time.
No.
I mean, but you can be ready in that time. You got to.
Yeah, I think I could be ready in that time. But I got to be moving now. So
nice.
Hang on a minute.
But yeah. So some people have asked me, "Are you training for another marathon?" And I look at them, I go, "Kind of."
That's
because I am technically training for another marathon. It's just preceded by 100 miles of biking and 2.5 miles of swimming. So,
yeah. Well, that will be fun.
Yeah, but I mean, I have some aspirations of running another marathon or two. But if I do it, I kind of want to do it as part of like something bigger.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been looking at, like, there's I can't remember what they're called, but they're like 6 marathons. And if you run them all, like each one that you run, you get like a little piece of the trophy or the medal.
Cool. Yeah.
And then when you run them all, you get you get the big medal. Okay. And so that sounds cool, right? Just to say that I've done it. But one of the marathons is Boston, so you have to qualify for Boston in order to.
Oh yeah, I know of this. Yeah. That's tough though. Qualifying for Boston, I mean, you need like around a 3-hour marathon time.
Yes, and even if you qualify, that doesn't mean you're going to get in.
Yeah, there is a way, like a side way to get into Boston, which is through charity. Like you can get, like, charity groups have tickets, and then you can get
interesting.
Yeah, so like you can join a charity, like the Run for Cause thing, and then you have to drive so many donations, and then you get a ticket. So that's kind of the side door way in. But I'd like to qualify for Boston, but I'm nowhere close to qualifying. Like my best marathon time is like 3 hours and 45 minutes. So I could probably run like a 3:30 now, but that's still not close. Like that's like 20 minutes away from being, like, I need to be at 40 age group is like 3 hours and 10 minutes or 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well, the thing is they put out the qualifying times, but then I think they just take so many fastest runners in each age group. And so you don't just have to qualify. You actually have to come in under qualifying.
Right. Exactly.
Enough to beat out the other people who are trying to qualify and go to Boston. So
yeah. It's
the actual qualifying, it may be 3 hours and 10 minutes, but you actually have to do it in like 3 hours and 3 minutes.
Exactly.
Into the marathon. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, which is like a 3 hour, and like a 3 hour time is basically like 7-minute miles. It's like 650 something pace the entire way. So that's which is definitely, running 1 mile under 7-minute miles is not so easy.
So now that we're done talking about business.
Yeah, I know, right? I have to say though that the marathon was mostly to prove to myself that I could do it.
Yeah.
And then it turned out, that the thing I didn't realize was that what I was proving was that I was disciplined enough to do all the training.
See, you get it. That's the whole point. I just
I didn't know that until I ran it. But yeah, after doing all the training, I just ran the marathon, right? It was, and so the triathlon's kind of the same deal. But I really want to see if there is an event where I can just kind of push to the absolute edge of my endurance. And so I may wind up doing ultra marathons too. I don't know. But I'm kind of addicted to that now. I want to see where my limit is, and I haven't hit it, right? But at the same time, I'm realizing that that's not necessarily a realistic measure, because if you train for these things, you can finish them and not have really push the edge of your endurance, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yep.
So anyway,
that'll be cool though. That's good. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I just did a video about that, like actually it was not to knock Jesse Itzler, but he just posted this. He did an Ironman with no training like the other day, like last week or something. And I get it, but I was like, this is not the thing that you should be doing and then promoting, because it's not about, like, okay, sure, you can run an Ironman with no training, good. But that doesn't impress me. What impresses me is doing all the fucking training for 6 months to do an Ironman. That's what impresses me, or whatever, it's 3 months, or whatever, 5 months, whatever it takes you to train for that. That shit impresses me. Like walking your way through the end of a marathon because you didn't actually fucking train for it, and like, collapsing after your bike ride because you didn't actually fucking train for it. Like, it takes some mental toughness to do that. Granted, I get it. But the thing that you get from doing it, like the reason to do it, is what you prove to yourself is that you can wake up every fucking morning and you can go and you do your fucking run or your swim, or, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think both have value and we cannot discount one or the other. I get what you're saying, but the other thing just has a very different kind of value. Okay. Anyways,
well,
I have lots of thoughts on that, but yeah. If he did an Ironman without training for it, all I have to say is he's exceptionally lucky he didn't hurt himself. But beyond that, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a Herculean effort. Like there's something to be said about like the mental toughness that you can have if you just choose to like go on. But
yeah,
but I don't. It's there's a thing I call respecting the distance, right? And what it means is it's like basically like it doesn't just apply to running, but it applies to like whatever it is, right? It's like you don't just go on stage and just start playing a guitar, like, you know what I mean? It's like you it's like more respecting the craft and the discipline involved in doing it. Like it's an insult to every single person that puts in the work when you don't put in the work. And
he
you just
has
put in
already
the
been
work.
putting in the work for years and years and years. Like
But he
that's,
didn't this time. I understand, but he didn't this time.
But
And that,
yes and no, because his whole life is the work of this. So we have to give him that credit as well.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with you either, John, but that's not really what we're here to talk about.
yeah, I mean, it is. It's part of the business.
Yeah,
but that's
fair.
You know, yeah, it's not. It's yeah. I mean, again, I'm not saying that he's not a badass, but what I am saying is that that's not. It's not the message that that is useful to people, because
that's true. It doesn't help other people because they can't do that.
Well, and they could do it. They could do it, right? They could certainly do it. Anyone can. It's like I said, you know, when I did the video, I was like, anyone can quote run a marathon. Anyone can walk a marathon. Let's put it this way: if you're a human being with legs, you can walk 26.2 miles. But that doesn't mean shit. That doesn't impress me if you walk 26.2. Now, again, if you train for it, I'm not saying you have to run the entire thing, but if you fucking train for it and you actually put in the training and you complete it and you have done it to the best of your ability, that impresses me. The other, because there's enough people in this world that think that they can just do one Herculean effort and become successful. That message, people already know that shit. That, and it's the wrong message. And that's why like so many people are taking that message and they think that they're going to become successful by like just putting in the effort one time or 1 week or whatever.
But so that's one filter of looking at it. There are so many other ways to look at what he did as well, in the sense that he has been training himself for so long that something like this is a part of his, like, he just did it without even proper formal training for the marathon, because over the last 10 years he's been putting himself through this grueling stuff. So we can take one page out of that playbook he has and say this is not really a good thing for him to talk about. But if I put all of his work and all of his life's work into context, this is a different perspective. I feel there is something much more from a different angle. His body of work says that when you have that level of dedication and work that you put in over that many years, then you can do crazy shit with yourself and with your life. Well, that's another way to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, the message, and again, like I retweeted one of the things that he, or not retweeted, but reposted one of the things that he put on his oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
I reposted one of the things that he put on his Instagram, because he was like talking about how to get through it. And he was talking about how, you know, basically what he put in his mind was that he's going to spend either somewhere between 13 and 15 hours. And he's like, I just have to keep on moving for 13 to 15 hours. Like he's committed that to his mind, which is, again, I'm not saying that there's nothing useful from it. That's a very useful frame. And to be able to do that, and that's what, you know, is going to be required in order to really get through difficult times, is to understand that you can do it and you just have to keep on moving forward. You can't give up. But all in all, even though he had some good points and some good message there, the overall effect, in my opinion, is negative because that. And granted, you know, someone like him, yeah, he's put in the work before and stuff like that, but you know, he didn't really do an Ironman with no training, because that was not, I mean, like he basically, like, I mean, he swam and then he biked and like rested and collapsed, and then he like walked most of the marathon. Like it was it was pathetic, like in terms of an actual athletic performance. And so what I'm saying is, like, from the mental aspect, that's great, but you can't take credit. Like, I guess what I'm saying is that you've got all these people that are actually training and putting in the work, and then you show up and you're like, oh, I can do it too. You didn't do it too. You didn't put in the work. You didn't put in the training. You didn't earn the thing, right? And so that's, and I'm not just picking on Jesse, because a lot of people do this shit. I see it all the time. We're like, oh, I ran a marathon without any training, or I hardly ran any miles this year. Just like my longest run was 8 miles. And when you do that, you're not in the same class as the people that actually train for that. So when you try to claim that you are, or claim that you did the same accomplishment they did, you're discrediting them, right? You're discrediting the work that's put in. And
I think if you take it out of context, but if you put it in context, it's not. It's just part of the work he put in over his lifetime. And this is just one of the many things he does now. So
yeah,
if you put it out of context, yes. But if you actually take it into context, I'm not convinced that what he did was anything. I'll give you a
perfect example.
Can we move on to?
I'll give you a business example. I'll give you a business example. So you spend a lot of time building up your YouTube channel and your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if some guy comes in tomorrow, right? Mm-hmm. And he's like, I do book summaries, right? And then he makes a YouTube channel and he does one video, a book summary video. And it's a good book summary video. It's not bad, but it goes ridiculously viral, right? It gets like 14 million views. And now he has 100,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel. How do you feel about that? You see what I'm saying?
And
then he says, I built this, and then you see him on an interview and he's like, I built this YouTube channel. I put in the work. Like he starts talking about how how anyone can
and
do it.
I would, that's usually only going to happen for someone who's actually put in the work over a period of 10 years or 20 years doing this work. So if it's Tony Robbins, he puts out a YouTube, a book summary channel, and he puts out one book, I bet he could get that traction that has taken me 4 years or 5 years to do. And I'll be like, damn, man, he's put in the work over these very years. People want to listen to his message. And that's totally cool.
Point. That's a valid point.
Random people just don't do it. Random people just don't break into the scene and like say, oh, okay, I'm a YouTube star with one video. Most of the times people have put in the work, and after putting in the work for all these years, they get to the point where something like this can happen to them.
Okay, that's a valid point. Yeah, I agree with that.
If Tony Robbins comes across, or if Jim Collins does a book summary of Good to Great and it takes off, fuck. Or Jeff Bezos talks about Good to Great, hell, we're all going to be watching that video for ages, right?
Yeah, that's okay. All right.
So he's put in the work over so many years that it doesn't surprise me anymore. I mean, remember the book that we first read of his with Goggins? That was all the shit he was doing. He was preparing himself for things like this.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. That's a valid point. I can see that. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I still maintain though that what I said about the people who do this kind of thing and then tout it as a great accomplishment. But at the same time, yeah, like I see the point now that like he put in the work, otherwise he wouldn't be able to. Like he built up the mental toughness that allowed him to be able to do this thing, and he built that up over time. So yeah. I just don't like when people do this.
Yeah, because there are people who can take it out of context.
Yeah.
Right. You and I are not one of those people, but there are people who will take it out of context. But you and I have seen enough, and we have walked these shoes enough to know that there is a lot behind the scenes that enables someone to do something like this. Yeah. But yeah, there is a world out there, and probably 95% of the people who will take it out of context and think of it as like one Herculean effort, while I think of it as like 10 years of grind that has led him to this moment today, that he can pull this off.
Right? Yeah.
It's not one day of grind that got him there. But if people don't know the backstory of Jesse Itzler, and they haven't read the books and they haven't really gotten to know him, then they might, take it out of context and screw it up. So
Yeah, yeah. And like just I mean, case in point, there's when I made the YouTube video, there was a guy on my channel. He's like, I ran a marathon without any training. I signed up for a marathon and I ran it in like I think his time was like 6 hours and 35 minutes. And then he was like, and then I ran another, and then that was my training for my second marathon, which I ran a month later and improved my time to 5 hours and 40 minutes or whatever it was. It was like it was walking times, right? It was like he did not train like so his first one he didn't run at all. That's just like
6
straight
hours.
walking. So at that point it's like you didn't run a marathon. Like he is trying to emulate, you see what I'm saying? Like it's guys like that where I'm like, no, like I'm not giving you credit for running a marathon because you didn't actually run a marathon. Like you walked 26.2 miles. Now granted, as you know, Manny, it's not easy to walk 26.2 miles.
Especially if you get pushed and especially if you're shoved to the concrete and you have a bleeding knee and you're wondering why you were shoved onto concrete. That's another story.
So it's not easy, but case in point where this all ties into everything in business is what Chuck was saying, was that about the marathon, about his marathon, is that the training, like getting up, doing the work, doing the thing, that's what you're actually signing up for. It's not about the race. It's not about race day. It's not about any of that stuff. It's about doing the work, putting it in day after day. And it has to be about that because tying it back into entrepreneurship is when you build a business, like just because you put in the work doesn't mean you get the result, right? And it's like it always has to be about the work. That's what it always has to be about, because luck plays a great factor in success in business. And you have to still have to have the work and the the other elements, but you can't control that result. And so that's the thing, is like too many people focus on the results instead of focusing on the process, instead of focusing on what you're actually doing. And you definitely won't be successful in the long run if you don't put in the work day after day after day after day. And that's the thing. Like I don't look at someone and say, oh, this guy's a millionaire, or his net worth, and say that's a great accomplishment. I look at someone and I say, this person put in the work every single fucking day. And that's what I respect. I don't respect just like, just because you were quote successful, that you sold your company or whatever, like that doesn't mean shit. What I look at is like, did you put in the work every day? That's the thing that's going to earn my respect. And that's what actually counts. So anyway, that's where I'm getting.
I'm not disputing that aspect of the equation. Is what shows up. Like we have to put things in context. When people say, "Oh, I had a $9 million launch," they have to put in context that Amy Porterfield girl has been hustling in this industry for 20 years. Right? Yeah, it's great. Exactly. I mean, I still believe it's an amazing accomplishment, but at the same time, it's 20 years in the making. It's not 1 year in the making. Like Marie Forleo, it's not a one. Like Marie Forleo is not like she does $20 million launches today. Right. And that's like, wow, I will do a $20 million just because Marie Forleo did $20 million launch. But it's because she's been hustling in that industry for 20 years now, right? So yeah, they can say, oh my God, my recent launch just did $9 million and posted on Instagram and on email or anything. And people are like, oh, fucking bitch, it's just trying to, make some money from the $9 million launch with information and all that stuff. It's just true, in some ways that is good marketing.
Yeah,
but
it's smart. Yeah,
it is also like she's been writing it out for a very long time. Like we know, I've seen all these people go through so many iterations, like Russell Brunson's of the world and these guys. Like they've all been hustling for a long time before they get there.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
they do. So like sometimes marketing can be very deceptive, and that's all. That can be a challenge.
So Manny, did you get that landing page finished? How did that go?
What landing page?
The sales page for your stuff.
Oh yeah,
we were talking about last week.
Oh yeah, it's still a work in progress. So I have a meeting with my copywriter, or the guy I have been kind of. He's a novice copywriter, I would say. He's like totally green, so he's more like an apprentice, not really a copywriter yet. So he's working on some of that stuff right now. But it's hard to work with an apprentice copywriter. You really got to give them everything. You just hope that they will take your word and put it exactly as you're saying it, and that's all. So you don't have to break your brains trying to get it done.
Yep. Well, cool.
So-
Well, it sounds like you're making progress.
Yeah, it's definitely moving the right direction. It is quite a bit of work to write these things, write this copy and all that stuff. So yeah. What about you, man? How's the summit coming along?
So I keep getting introduced to people that I want to interview for the summit.
Okay.
So my speaker roster went from, I think, 22 up to like 30. So I've got a couple of people that just have some hit shows that I had never met before, right? And it was just
you better make sure you have a completely separate email marketing system for this, because if you're gonna build that email list, you will have to, and you will, if you start, like, you have 30 people emailing to their audience for this funnel, for this summit, you will need to fine tune and get that really dialed in.
Yeah, I agree.
I would even separate it out from your existing.
I already did. I signed up for a separate ConvertKit account.
Good.
And yeah, I'm fine tuning that now, because I'm going to be having them push out to their audiences starting on Monday.
Nice. Yeah.
So that's the plan. And what's funny is that they show up, they're like, this is a cool idea. And usually by the end of the interview, they're going, I've got to tell my audience all about this. So it's going really well that way too. So
are you going to move into the BizOps space now, do podcast summits on podcasting?
Yeah, probably.
Which is cool, man. It's it's an evolution of your business, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see how it all kind of comes out, but yeah, that's the plan, is to move into the area where I'm helping people grow their podcasts and stuff like that. And then Dev Chat can kind of be a test bed for a lot of this stuff, right? So it's like, hey, we did this and we got this result. We did this other thing and we got this result.
Well, there's I've always said there's 3 levels of business, right? There's the doing, where you make the least amount of money, right? Like coding, podcasting, whatever, There's the teaching about how to do, where you make a lot more money. And then there's a platform where you allow other people to teach about how you do. And that's where you make the most money. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting something like that together either. Yeah, where it's, hey, can you do a course for me on this thing, right?
Yeah.
And then I just pay them per register, or I pay them just up front to make the content, or however that works out.
Yeah. Platform is the ultimate game.
Yep.
But it's also like, building the platform means building the audience anyways.
Yep.
Or buying or having a strategic approach to buying that audience without going broke. Yeah. Nice. What about you, John? What's new?
What's crazy is I've gotten a huge amount of coaching applications this month. I billed $28,500 in coaching this month alone. Yeah. So
mostly business coaching?
Yeah, but mostly. I mean, some majority business coaching, some like general life coaching. A few guys, I think maybe from my talks and stuff, dating coaching, stuff like that. So I've been like analyzing text messages and Tinder profiles and
y'all.
like that. Yeah. So it's funny. So many, it's the things that guys text. I'm like, but mostly business, mostly on the business side. And then usually like most of my coaching clients, they start off on business and then we usually have some kind of fitness element. Everyone's always got some kind of fitness element. So, but the fitness stuff doesn't take me much. Like I usually give people real basic fitness stuff.
Of all your current coaching clients, how many of them are making over $10,000 per year in their business? In their business, not in their job.
Let me look through the list real quick and see if I could figure out and kind of get an estimate. Most of them are not, right? Like most of them.
They're newbies right now.
Most of them are still growing their business up. So let's see.
They're pre-revenue or in the very early phases of making any money right now.
Yeah. Yeah. 1, 2. Oh, okay. This guy's making, so yeah, I would say that. Yeah, it's like maybe only like 4 or so that are making more than 10,000 a month in their business right now.
10,000 a month? No, I said 10,000 a year, or 1,000 a month. More than 1,000 a month.
Oh, that might be more like 6 or 7.
Out of
like how many clients I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
20.
15 clients. Or no. Yeah, hold on. 1, 2. Oh no, I guess no, it is 20. You're right. Yeah, it's 20.
What does your coaching funnel look like? Like how do you find these folks and how do you decide whether or not you're going to work with them?
There is no funnel. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really advertise it. So, I mean, every once in a while I might mention it in a YouTube video, but I have a link on my page on bulldogmindset.com. There's a coaching tab. And there that's pretty solid. Like it's got a lot of testimonials on there, like a ton of video testimonials. I've been building up the video testimonials. And then from there, there's you can fill out a form, or you put in your email address, and then it sends you a Google form to fill out for the application. And that's it. So when people submit the application, there's questions on there asking if they're ready to go and stuff. And so what I usually do is just, if they submit the application, then I pretty much I reply back to them with a video email, and I send them the invoice, and that's pretty much it. I don't do any kind of like closing or anything. I'm basically like, and then some people actually reject from the application. Like I legit reject them, because if they fill out like bullshit information on the application, if they don't really give any kind of, then I'm not going to waste my time with them, because I know what will happen is I'll do a coaching call with them. And even if they pay the $1,500, big deal, because now they're going to they're not going to know what the fuck they're doing. They're not really going to listen to any advice, and then they're going to drop off, if not the next month, the month after. So I'd rather just not waste my time with those people. So that's it. Basically, I just look at the application, and as long as they're a good fit, then I send them the invoice. If I have, but now I hit a point where I really don't have. I'm overbooked now, because I was only planning on having 10 slots. So I'm trying to figure out if I want to raise the price to 2,500, or if I want.
You need to hire more coaches.
Yeah, that's what I may eventually do, like a cheaper price coach. But I need to train someone to do the coaching.
Right.
So
you need a system.
Yeah, I'll eventually need a system for it. So. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. If next month is the same as this month, and I keep on getting like 5 or 6 new coaching clients per month, then I'll have to then I'll really.
Or you put them in a group. That might be the intermediate step, even before you hire a damn coach. You just put them in a freaking group. Yeah, I know you have so much resistance against the group for some reason.
It's different though. It's not the same. Like I have a group coaching, like a mastermind, and I'll probably do like a bigger scale group coaching that's like $500 a month. That might have like 20 or 30 people, but I get like good results with people working one-on-one with them, which is kind of necessary for a lot of the things that they want to accomplish. I mean, it's not for everyone. Not everyone needs it, but it's a different dynamic.
People you get good results from one-on-one coaching, but people also get good results from group coaching, in the sense because they have other people around them.
Yeah, it's a different animal, right? I mean, there's benefits to it for sure.
Yeah, but if you look at your life, what would you rather? Like, if you want to take this to 100K a month business, maybe that is the only way you get there. I mean, not with your private coaching for sure.
Yeah, but I'm not trying to really build that kind of business. That's the whole thing. Is it's like it's not. If I were trying to make as much money as possible, I'd be doing a different thing that I'm doing. You know what I mean? I would be actually pitching the coaching.
But you'd be impacting more people that way.
Well,
I agree.
And you'd be bringing more people together.
I'm impacting more people by creating more free content, like the YouTube videos, and that's where my main focus is to like reach people that way, to have a bigger platform rather than. I mean, the one-on-one coaching is great, but
there are people who actually get a lot of value from paying to be held accountable and to do the work.
I agree, and that's why I will eventually put some kind of a group coaching together, but I don't want to like funnel people into group coaching that need one-on-one coaching, right? I want that to be a specific offering where if it's the better fit, then I would put them into the group coaching. So
how's your advertising going?
You know what? They paused it until the election is over because the Facebook ad prices went crazy. So,
dude, I'm impressed with whatever Evan's doing. He stepped up his game quite a bit. I don't know if you're getting his ads.
I'm not getting them, but I saw what
Evan who
to me.
Evan Carmichael. Compared to what his marketing used to be a year ago, it's like worlds apart. He's got the right messaging. It's got the right funnels. He's got the right targeting. It feels so much more cohesive now, what he's trying to do compared to just a year ago where he had none of that. He didn't know anything about email marketing or funnels or anything. He was just trying to hack it himself.
Yeah.
I feel like whoever he's hired to do this work, they're doing a pretty solid job for him. And he told me, like, when I talked to him, he was like, yeah, I'm not doing it myself. I just hired an agency to do this work for me.
Yeah.
To build out these funnels, to build all of this for me. I don't want to be involved with that part of the business.
That's super rare though. Like, I mean, like most agencies that you hire to do that, like it ends up not working. So I don't know. Like, I mean, it looks like it's what he's got going is good, but is it making money? I don't know.
Well, okay. So it might be a function of whether it's a good converting offer on the back end. With this $2,000 course on like YouTube course on becoming a YouTuber.
Yeah.
I can't see that being a failure no matter what. He has 2 million subscribers. Just that itself is enough for anyone to want to go and learn from. That's a simple shoe-in, right? That course is always going to sell. If you have 2 million subscribers and you put together a course on how to build a YouTube channel and build a business around it, and you really have a business, like your channel is around success and entrepreneurship and all those things, people are buying from you, man. You can easily, you can sell $1 million worth of that shit any given year, no problem.
Yeah, because the proof is right there. Like you can't, you know.
So he has I think the offer is what we're missing here.
Yeah.
He has the offer that converts in this situation. His offer is aligned with his business, with his, and he advertises primarily on YouTube because people know him on YouTube and on Gmail, which I really am liking the Gmail advertising that he's doing. And now on Google Display Network, literally across all the different websites. So it's a really good retargeting system that he's got going on. And then he's using the book and he's built a whole funnel on the book. Like if you look at his back end of the book funnel, it's not just like selling one book, but it's more like buy 100 books and get this, this, and this, and buy 1,000 books and get this, 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 and this. So it's a lot of different tiers. It's a very, design. It's a decently designed funnel that he would always be making money on that funnel.
Yeah.
From what I see.
Well, I just went to his website, so now I'll get retargeted and I can look at his ads.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
You should see. Hopefully if they're
It's funny how often I do that. I hear about somebody's ads and how awesome they are, and I'm like, I'll just go to their website and poke around for a few minutes.
I'm not saying his ads are totally awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah, but they're working, and that matters.
From the time I've been following his work to today, it's a complete sea change. Because a year ago, I felt like Evan wasn't really an online marketing kind of guy. He didn't really have any marketing funnel chops. He didn't really have any email marketing chops. He was a good YouTuber, but he didn't really understand, or I didn't feel he was on his online marketing game at all.
Yeah.
But suddenly to go from that to this, and he told me, like, when I talked to him, he's like, yeah, I just hired an agency to do this.
So does he live down in San Diego near you guys? Is that how you know him, or?
No, I just know him from YouTube world. I've put videos on his channel.
Oh, okay.
I've had my videos on his channel. I even hired him as a coach back in the day. So I've been, I feel like I've become friends with him over the years. But yeah, the 2 videos I've done for his channel, they've each gotten 500,000 views.
Oh, wow.
And I could put out the same videos on my channel and I'd be happy to get 50,000 views.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. My videos, like a couple of my videos are going to get 1 million views on his channel, unfortunately. But yeah, they will. It's going to become the most popular Think and Grow Rich video soon.
There you go.
And how to win friends and influence people, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he grew. Well, that's why, again, like the biggest thing is growing an audience, right? Because see, now he can do this.
Well, the biggest thing is the offer, because the audience can come along if you have the offer.
Yeah, but you can always tweak an offer. I mean, you can always make it, like you can make an offer in a day. Like building an audience takes a long time. You've
got to do the work too.
Yes and no, because remember, I'm going back to the basics of in over deliver. He was talking about offer, list, and then sales page, right? And media, offer, list, and sales page. List is second.
Well,
offer is first.
I know, but
there's something to be said about that. Like if you have an insanely good offer, right, you can get access to audiences, you can get access to lists, and you can find ways to sell the damn thing. If you have a really great offer, the list is secondary.
Yeah. Well, yeah, except that you have to have traffic. You have 3 components, right, of any business. You have traffic, you have the marketing or sales process, and then you have the product, right? The least important thing is the product.
Right? Product is different from the offer, my friend. I think yes and no.
I know. The sales marketing, I'm grouping that into the offer, right? You have to have a way to convert customers, right? But traffic is the most difficult thing to obtain.
I am not convinced anymore. Like
if you give me traffic, I can make money. If you give me a marketing funnel, I can't necessarily. And if you give me a product, I can't.
You're right. If someone gives you traffic, you can make money. But to take it to another level, a good converting offer can mean the difference between 1x and 10x money.
Yeah, I agree. I don't disagree. But traffic is the hard
offer can mean all the difference. And if you have a good converting offer, you can always find traffic.
Yeah, but that's not true, because here's the thing. Like, okay, let's suppose that you have traffic, but you have a shitty offer, right? Literally, you can change the offer in 1 day and fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
But
let's say that you have traffic and you have a shitty product. Literally, you can change the product in 1 day or a week, maybe.
Well, so let's look
right?
at.
But if you don't have traffic, hold on. If you don't have traffic, you could have the offer and you could have the product, but in order to gain traffic, in order to gain traffic, it's going to be a long haul. It's going to be hard. Now, you could borrow other people's lists and all that, but even still, like, it all relies on trust, and trust comes with status, comes with your name, which is the same as building an audience. Like you could have the best fucking offer in the world, and you can contact someone cold who you don't know, and they're not going to give you their traffic, right? You've got to build those relationships, which usually, it's the same word. Like traffic is the hardest thing. That's why it's the most important thing.
Hardest is not always the most important. I think we have to separate the two. Hardest is not important. But if we look at simple programmer, you guys have so much traffic, but the problem right now is that offer is what's missing.
Well, I mean, there's multiple, like, but yes, but I could turn around simple programmer and I could add an offer to that works.
But that's hard work. I mean, it's been 2 years, right? Because you have other things that are on priority.
Yeah.
The offer doesn't happen so quickly. It takes time and effort and energy to fine tune the offer to get the perfect offer, to find that offer that converts for the audience. I see this right now, like with one of my coaching clients, the morning hero guy, accountability coaching guy. He doesn't have a list of any size, like 1,000 people. That's really all there is. But he has an offer that really converts, and he's been able to use that offer that converts to sell to, in his audience are people, maybe someone who has a brokerage, a real estate brokerage. So he's like selling his $300 a month program to 10 people at a time in the brokerage, rather than selling, like he initially enrolled that one person and then I was like, yeah, I want this for all of my team. So now he's literally at a point where he doesn't really have traffic. I mean, minuscule, 1,000 people on his list.
Right.
And he's already probably doing like at least 10K a month plus from that, because he has an offer that just keeps working. And it's a very clean offer.
Is this Greg we're talking about?
No, Jarvis, morning accountability, morning hero accountability.
I was thinking Greg Santos, but
no, Greg is not my coaching client.
Okay.
This is my coaching client, and he's definitely doing over 10K. Probably will get to 20K soon, with a list of 1,000 people, because it's an offer that's so good, and I believe in the offer. I think it's a fantastic offer. And if he were to like just fine tune his marketing, whichever way he goes, he could go and buy all the traffic on Facebook and make that work. Or he can go hire salespeople and go on a sales rampage and sell it to anyone. So traffic, it's important. Like in our scheme of things, when we're thinking of online business, traffic is important. But I think when there's an offer that converts and that really speaks to the audience, shit, man, it can be the rocket fuel to the fire. It's the real rocket fuel. I think offer is the real rocket fuel. Traffic is not.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely is a multiplier, but you have to have something to multiply. That's the thing. It's like, I don't know.
You can always buy traffic. That's what I think.
You can't though. You can't buy traffic like cheaply. Like most people can't buy.
You can buy traffic. If you have an offer that converts, you can buy traffic.
Buy traffic. Do it.
If you have an outstanding
buy
offer,
traffic. Do it.
Yeah, but not even all traffic's created equal either. I mean, what we're really talking about is quality attention, right?
Right.
You're right, John. It's not cheap to buy traffic, but if you have an offer that converts, and that's an outstanding offer, it's just becomes so much easier to sell when you have an offer that converts.
For sure, and it does. It's easier to sell, but
it's a major multiplier. It's not at that point, like when you have an offer that's so damn good, like Tesla. The offer is so damn good that you don't really do as much marketing or sales for it.
All right, but what if I gave you an option? What if I was like, I'll give you one of the three, but you can only have one of them. I'll give you traffic. I'll give you 1 million people per month, or I'll give you a really great converting offer, or I'll give you a really just great product. Which one would you pick?
Well, product and offer have to go hand in hand. You can't just separate the two that easily. There is a lot to the offer that the product goes into the offer. You can't just take out Tesla and say, oh, Tesla is not a product, it's an offer. Is it a product? Both.
No. You actually can. Like, the product doesn't matter. The product, until you open the box, the product means nothing. The product, it completely is irrelevant. The only thing the product controls is two things: refund rate and referral rate. But if we're talking straight traffic conversion, referral rate and refund rate have nothing to do with it. So the product doesn't matter at all.
Well, if the product doesn't work, and if you don't have any testimonials to prove that the product works, then it's useless.
Well, but that is all part of the marketing and offer.
That's the offer, right?
Yeah,
so if it's an offer,
the offer matters.
If it's an offer that's proven to work, that has testimonials, that shows again and again that it's working, and it is an offer that works, I will take the offer over the million list. Why? Because I can scale that to infinity. But the million list, I can't really do much with it. But an offer that converts, I will take that, and I can go berserk with it.
Yeah, I'd rather take the big list, and then I can I can test a whole bunch of offers with it.
But by that time, you'll have burnt the list out.
Well, I said traffic of 1 million people per month, like traffic, not list. But
shit, man, like seriously,
because it's not a list. What I'm talking about is, I'm not talking about a list. We're talking about different things. I'm talking about traffic. I'm talking about new people.
Even if you have traffic, even if you have traffic in that area or whatever, it's gonna take like a serious dedication to craft a really genuinely great offer. And once you have that, then you keep, like, take the example of the guy who's your crypto coaching client, right?
Right.
He didn't have massive traffic when he was building the business, but he had a really good converting offer.
Well, he got some pretty good traffic. I mean, his YouTube channel got pretty big.
It was pretty small compared to Simple Programmer.
Well, he had like 3,000 people on his list when he launched and did like a 70K launch. But
exactly. So how do you reconcile that? That's not the normal thing.
Well, 3,000 people is still a lot of people.
3,000 people to a $70,000, like, this is not normal, man. Like, getting 3,000 people to buy $70,000.
He got disproportionate results, but it's still a multiplier. Like, I would expect someone that has a list of 3,000 people to make maybe like 20 or 30K on a launch, but he did double to triple that because his offer was solid.
It is shitload of work to convert any traffic. And to convert at that level to $20 per customer on your database, that's ridiculous for any kind of, unless it's a good offer. So an offer that converts takes priority over traffic, I feel.
See, I'd rather have the traffic because I know that with traffic I can.
Well, okay.
I know that's the hardest thing to get. Like you're right.
With traffic you can have a middle business, but with a scintillating offer, you can go to the moon.
Yeah, but building traffic is the hardest thing to do. Like getting traffic.
I agree with John 100%. You can figure out what to do with the traffic once you have it.
Hard doesn't mean that is the only important thing, or hard doesn't equal most important. We got to separate.
Yeah, you can't monetize it without a good offer either. But at the end of the day, what I think John's saying is, and this is the way I view things here, is that if I have truckloads of traffic coming in, then I can start to qualify that traffic. I can figure out what they want, and I can figure out a way to give it to them. And
that's a weak business design.
Okay, think of it this way. Here's a better way to look at this. This is what I tell all my coaching clients all the time, is like, look at brick and mortar, right? Let's say you have a donut shop, all right? You can have the best salespeople that when someone walks in that donut shop and they're like, hey, we have a process where we customize the donut specifically for your taste, right? And they're like, and they upsell you, buy this donut, you should buy this donut. This is what they could be perfect salespeople, right? Just like Starbucks or whatever. And you can have a great product. You can have delicious donuts that people want to come back and eat. But if your donut shop is not on a corner that's heavily trafficked, if your donut shop is way off in some industrial complex or off in, where it's not getting foot traffic, you're going to fail. No. Traffic will be the most. You could have a shitty donut shop that has shitty donuts and shitty salespeople who are completely rude, and you'll still be more successful than.
That's why we call things hole in the wall hole in the wall is a business that literally is successful because the product is so good, even though they are somewhere hidden in the wall.
Well, they have foot traffic.
No,
I mean, it's a hole in the wall. It's like, this is a shitty, like, it looks like a shitty place, but it's good when you go inside. Like, or the food is good,
dude.
And people come
buying
back.
Buying attention should never be the focus of the business, or getting attention. Getting attention for the sake of attention is not what business is about. Business is about building great stuff and then getting people to come to buy that damn thing.
Business
I don't think
about giving good stuff for free, and then
I don't care about the free part. Tesla doesn't give shit for free and still makes ton of money.
No, but Tesla doesn't have
great value for the world.
Tesla has traffic. They have a lot of traffic.
They didn't just get traffic for free.
They have a lot of attention.
They never even invested in traffic. They invested zero in traffic.
That was the hardest part of the Tesla. It was building the brand. Dude, the brand is the value. There's nothing in value in the car. The car. In fact, the cars are shitty. The cars fall apart. There's all kinds of fucking problems. Like, if you look on a Tesla forum, every Tesla owner will tell you what a piece of shit their car is, but they'll also brag about it because of the brand.
It's a status symbol.
The brand is separate from the product.
But the brand equals traffic.
Brand equals traffic. They didn't just get traffic for free. They don't advertise at all.
No, right? They got it from the media. They got it from from organic
because
sources.
The product was so scintillating. The brand was so scintillating that they got traffic.
Right. The most valuable thing is organic traffic. That's
no. That's not the point. The traffic came because of something else. The traffic came because of something else, which was the brand, the product. The traffic didn't just come for the sake, just because Elon Musk came up with a story or a marketing story, and that's why they have traffic. No, the traffic came because the product was damn fucking interesting.
Yeah, but it's still traffic. It's still the hardest problem to crack.
No. But the whole point of this discussion was just because it's hard doesn't mean
take Tesla. Take Tesla and take away the brand Tesla. Have the same exact car, okay? Have the same sales process and everything, and they'll go under in a year.
But the brand is the brand and the product are like baked together. You can't just be like, oh, take Tesla and sell them tiffin boxes.
The brand and the product.
But the brand is also what's getting them the traffic.
Yeah, the brand.
And the product. People want the brand.
Yeah,
exactly.
So the brand is the marketing.
You have to separate traffic from it. The traffic came as a result of a great product. The traffic wasn't what they.
The product is not great. The product is not great. The product is not great.
The intention of them doing that business. The intention was to build a great product, and traffic came along for a ride.
But
that's the whole point, is that it was the intent to build a great product.
Right.
They made a splash by talking about what they were going to do. They got attention for building the electric vehicles, and they got attention because Elon Musk was involved, and he could go and push all the right buttons to get all the attention.
Was a nobody,
and that drove the traffic, and then the traffic. No, he wasn't a nobody. He had built other businesses, and people knew who he was.
He's still a nobody.
But he told a great story, and that's why people came. And yeah, Tesla has definitely grown his fame. But at the end of the day, that's what is making the difference.
Elon Musk might be the
Tesla was huge before they built a single car.
Elon Musk might be the lousiest marketer to have ever lived. He doesn't know how to tell a story. He doesn't know how to be on the stage. He's got terrible presence on the stage. He's just horrible. He's a horrible marketer.
He showed up everywhere.
But he is a horrible. What do you mean showed up everywhere? He was busy doing the work of building a great business, building a great product, and the marketing came as a result of it. He didn't go and try to build traffic. That was never his intent. His intent was to build a great business, to build a great product, and the marketing came along. That's the key. Your intent is to build a great product, and the marketing comes along for the ride. Your intent is not to go.
I think that's completely backward.
Yeah,
completely backward.
That's a story that you hear, but
that's not a story I hear.
Actual.
That's the story I'm telling after having done this for so many years. I consistently always find that people with great products will always find a way to get the sales to work.
That's just survivorship bias, though. There's plenty of people that
because if you don't have a great product, you can't really survive. If you don't have a great offer, you don't survive the business.
No. The Snuggie blanket is a shitty product, right? The
It's a very utilitarian.
the Shamu
No.
is a
The
shitty
Snuggie,
product.
the
I
Snuggie is a
bought a
very
Shamu before. It doesn't work. The non-stick pans that you can fry eggs on and they slip right off. That shit doesn't work either. It's a shitty product, right?
And is that a good business? Is
The
that
guy
a
with
business you're
the
proud of?
cross, the guy with the cross necklace selling the fucking shitty pillows. Those are shitty pillows.
Is that a good business? Is that the kind of business you and I want to build?
No, I'm just saying that what is important is traffic. Like in all those instances, though, the reason why those were successful was traffic.
You didn't answer my question.
And an offer.
Is that the kind of shitty business you want to build?
No, of course not. But that's why, like, Chuck said something really important, which is the kind of traffic matters. And that's why organic traffic that comes from people who have benefited from you before you've asked them for any money is the most valuable traffic that you can have. And that's the irreplaceable part of a business. That is the most valuable part of a business. And that is the thing that is the hardest to
the
acquire.
Most valuable part of the business is the thing that the business exists to do.
That's not true, though. The only reason why you have a business,
if people can't find it, it doesn't do any good.
You will find people if you have a quality product. You will find a way. You will hustle your way to find that marketing and sales.
No one is buying.
Is the next level. Like, yes, it is hard, but it is not impossible to go find marketing. It's not impossible to go find your like the Dream 50 or the Dream 100.
This feels like the arguments I have with my brother.
Okay. No one is buying. Well, let's just take, like, no one is buying your book summaries, Manny, because they're excellent products. Even though they are excellent products, the reason why they're buying them is for two reasons. One, because your YouTube videos are excellent and they like what you have to say and they like you and the way that you present the information. Okay. And two, because people that they trust and already like are telling them that it's good. So it has nothing to do with the product itself. Now, granted, I'm not knocking your product. Your product is great. Of course, it's great. And when people get the product, they're like, oh, damn, this is great. This exceeds my expectations. But they're not buying it because the product is great. It has nothing to do with the product. It has everything to do with the trust that you've already established. Trust is key. And that's why traffic is so important. And that's what creates the good kind of traffic is the traffic that trusts you. And that's the irreplaceable part of the
traffic
business.
You
could sell them anything. You could sell your audience anything.
Traffic is important, but an offer that is scintillating is the difference between a great business and a mediocre business. You can have
you have to have both. That's for sure. But
given the traffic, given the same traffic, absolutely. Right.
Even give me half the traffic, but give me a scintillating offer compared to don't give me any offer.
Good.
I'll take the scintillating offer.
I will give you that.
Traffic.
Yes.
Give me a tenth of the traffic and give me a scintillating offer. I'll still find a way to make that work compared to give me a bunch of traffic and give me a shitty or no offer, and you have to now figure out a product that actually will work.
And about a tenth is where I draw the line. About a tenth.
Right? But what we're effectively saying is the offer is like 10x more powerful.
For sure. I 100% agree. I think we're basically saying the same thing, just from different angles. I'm saying that the hardest thing to get is the traffic.
But hard is not always the most important.
I know. I'm saying the hardest thing is the traffic. You're saying the most valuable thing is the offer. But we're assigning values based on different things. You're assigning a value based on what's the key thing that produces the most results ultimately. And I'm saying what's most valuable is the thing that's hardest, because I think that the thing that's hardest is most valuable. But aside from that, we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, well, I don't believe something that's the hardest is the most valuable. I think what's most valuable is the thing that creates the most value in the world. So that's where we are different. What's the most valuable is what's the most valuable to the customer, but see the hardest.
But I would say that you're incorrect in that thinking. I'll tell you why. Because take diamonds, okay? They're really pretty useless. Like they don't create the most value in the world, but they have a very high price because they're hard to obtain. Because they're the most difficult thing. Gold, to some degree, is in the same boat. I mean, gold is a little more useful in a lot of industrial applications, but really, for the most part, gold is not. It doesn't create a huge amount of value in the world. On the other hand, rice is very easy to obtain, but it is extremely valuable, and it is responsible for most of the population in the world being alive right now. So the value that we place on things is not related to their actual intrinsic value of how valuable they are to people, but rather their scarcity is the most important element. Like how
it's not scarcity, it's the value that is perceived in the user's mind. Scarcity is just one of the elements of the perception of value.
Yeah, but right? I'm just saying that
Apple,
the difficulty.
Apple products, an Apple phone probably does almost 99% of the, or a $200 phone today will get you 99% of the results that an iPhone will. But you and I are still going to buy an iPhone.
Yeah.
Because it's the perception, it's the status, it's all the other things that come along. And that's a value for the customer. The status is the value for the customer. So you created value for the customer through the status. In some ways, Tesla, the value proposition of someone riding a Tesla is that feeling that I drive Tesla and I am making the world a better place and I am cool like that and all of those things. And that's the value proposition.
Hey guys, I've got to go soon.
Oh, okay.
What? Yeah. Chuck, stop. You gotta.
I've got a call at 11:30.
Oh, okay.
We're just, damn it, Chuck. We're just about to start talking about the election too.
Yeah. I know, right?
All right.
Oh man.
All right. We should probably wrap it up and
you guys
but I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, Manny. I think like I said, I think we're saying very similar things. I think that it's just where we're putting the emphasis, because when I'm looking at, like, if someone's looking at trying to build a business, what I tell them is that the most important thing they need to focus on is traffic, because that's going to be the most difficult thing for them to obtain and to get. Whereas it doesn't place any less value in the sense of them. Obviously they have to have an offer, obviously they have to have a product, but in my mind, I'm like, okay, we can tackle those things, even if we tackle them in a suboptimal way, and you'll be successful. But if I can't get you traffic, there's no way I can make you successful, and that's the thing that's going to take you 2 to 3 years.
Let's take a
case
look
in point. Russell Brunson. So I signed up for the 2 Comma Club X, and I've been doing that for in the first 3 months. That's all he does, is he has you put together the summit so that you can get traffic and so that you can build your email list so that you can drive traffic to where you want it. He has you start creating content that's either a podcast, a YouTube channel, or a blog. He has you doing a bunch of other things that just help solidify that audience and that attention around you and what you're doing, so that at the end of the day, you have the people coming in that you can then redirect to whatever it is that you're going to do next.
Yeah, I mean, good. What did Netflix do differently? Not very differently. DVDs. You could go get DVDs. You could go buy DVDs online. You could go rent DVDs from Blockbuster. Netflix just made the offer they just changed. Their value proposition was different. There was no marketing innovation there. It was a value proposition innovation.
Yeah, but what got them there was the fact that people were talking about it.
Why?
They got the attention of enough of the right people to spread
word. Hang on, you don't know that.
Mouth.
You don't really know that story. I've actually read the book that tells the story of what happened. I know what happened. And it was not because they had great marketing.
But if nobody was talking about it, it wouldn't have gone anywhere, even though it was a great idea.
Whoa, hang on. You don't know what happened, right? But the key, you don't know that it was because word of mouth.
You have 5 minutes and then I'm doing my thought because I've got to go.
Okay. Well, the thing is, in case of Netflix, or in case of a lot of these innovations, the value innovations that are happening, the value of innovation is so strong that once you find that innovation that works, or that value that works, you can put tons of marketing dollars behind it and see money coming out on the other end. Yeah. Because the innovation, the value created is so radical that traffic just becomes an afterthought. You're just like, all right, we'll spend money on people writing blog posts about us, and we'll spend money on YouTube ads, and we'll spend money on Facebook ads, and we'll spend money on anything and everything that's got a user there, because we got an offer that's so damn good.
Yeah. But Netflix tested the offer a bunch of times because they're like,
They
oh, what
offer, they
happens if we
tested
give
like
them
20 different times. They tested so
exactly?
many different offers to find what works. But once they
Yeah.
had an offer that converted, god damn it, man, that took them to the moon. It wasn't their marketing that took them to the moon. It was
Well,
the
they had
offer that they finally figured out. This is the offer that converts.
yeah, but they had to find the offer that converted, and then they had to spend a shit ton of money to market that offer. But it was profitable spend. But ultimately, they had to have that. The reason why, okay, so there's two different models, right? So there's the pay per play model, and there's the bootstrap like organic model. In the pay per play model, you're absolutely 100% right. The offer is the most important thing, bar none, because you have to pay for traffic. And if you're paying for traffic, like as soon as you find an offer that beats the cost significantly, you can pour gasoline on that fire, and that is number one. If you're not paying the pay for play, then the traffic is the most important, the organic traffic,
Well,
because it
okay,
doesn't matter what the offer is.
so I'm gonna say that the organic traffic, the size of the organic traffic isn't really as important as just finding a group of people who want your products.
Yeah,
I
But now we're
literally
back to
know.
traffic.
No,
Yeah.
no. What I'm saying,
Yeah, we
what I'm saying
are.
is because you have a good enough product, the traffic size is so irrelevant. Because I
yeah, but
literally know people who have
yeah,
coaching businesses who may have an audience of 1,000 people, and they're making $30,000-$40,000 a month just because they're like just very specifically they have a good offer for a specific group of people, and
yeah,
they're happy with that, and then
which
it
is
works
great.
for them.
But I could spin it the other way, and I could say, you're saying you need 1,000 people, right? That like, you have a really good offer. Well, if you give me 10 million people, I'll find you 1,000 out of there that will buy my product, regardless of how shitty it is, uh, and then we'll pay the same price. So yeah, I mean, like like I said, like you were saying before, I would say that an offer can make up for 10 times the traffic, right? Like I'd rather have a tenth of the traffic and have a perfect, great offer. I'm in agreement with you with that, but it doesn't scale beyond like maybe 100, like 100 times. I'd rather have 100 times more traffic and have than have the best offer ever. You know what I mean? I'd rather just have like a subpar offer, like a decent offer, and 100 times more traffic. 10 times, I'm in agree. That's where I think it's like there's somewhere in between there where it's like where there's a trade-off, because everything has a trade-off, right? That's
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean
we're
it's hard
just
to
like,
evaluate,
where is
right?
it?
What
Yeah.
is the right trade-off point for something like this? Because I have literally seen offers that convert with traffic that is 10% the size of a bigger site's traffic, or even 1% of the site of a much bigger site's traffic, and they're making more money. And in the same niche, in the same area, why is this one person making so much more even with so little traffic? Because they have a damn good offer.
Yeah. That's true. It is true. So
Yeah.
Well, 2 Comma Club X, my friend.
all right.
I like it. I didn't know that the summit was a result of the 2 Comma Club X.
Yep.
I know we didn't know you're part of the
The elite 2 Comma
Yeah.
X.
I am guzzling Kool-Aid at an unheard of rate.
See,
I've heard.
you said it. I was gonna say I didn't know you're part of the cult, but that
What cult? Why do you call that?
I'm
The
using
Brunson cult.
ClickFunnels too, by the way.
Yeah, the ClickFunnels cult. There we go.
Oh yeah.
The Brunson cult.
Of course,
That's all right.
ClickFunnels was down last night, and I'm trying to update my
Ooh.
Summit website. I'm like, ugh!
That's ugly.
Yeah,
See,
that was.
ClickFunnels is the shittiest software that makes the most fucking money. It's shitty. It's the most horrible choice that you could possibly pick. It goes down all the time. It lacks features. ClickFunnels is
I knew it. I knew you were going to go
only
there.
good for selling ClickFunnels. Okay, but the man Russell Brunson knows how to get fucking traffic, and I mean the offer is. I don't know about the offer, but he gets traffic. So
the offer is everything. He's offering people a business opportunity
to sell ClickFunnels.
Exactly. That's ClickFunnels. The ultimate thing in ClickFunnels is the offer.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, but anyway, but the product is shit. So
Yeah, the offer is a combination of the product and the offer itself and the marketing behind it. But anyways, yeah. Chuck, your thoughts?
Yeah. So my thoughts, I mean, this week it's just a lot of my success is just basically boiled down to reaching out to people, doing the work, and and then people want to network, they want to get involved, they want to promote and support and introduce me to people and all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, so at the end of the day, I mean, it's just there are a lot of powerful ideas around just taking good care of people, building up your network, and just doing what it takes to be successful, but at the same time making sure that other people can find success out of what you're doing too. So that's my thought.
Nice. I'm thinking.
Me too. Think.
Okay, I can say this with what I know today, that, and I've been saying this like a broken record for quite a while now, but I want to keep saying it until we all get used to thinking, or I get used to believing it. I was reading Salesforce founders biography, not reading, I was just reviewing it again. Mark Benioff, founder of Salesforce. Have you guys heard of him?
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah, he wrote the book called Behind the Clouds, and he talked about, he said, hiring is even more important than generating revenue in his business. And the more you start to think about it, the more it becomes like hiring becomes like, as soon as you can, you must find a person to do the thing that you can do, but you would much rather spend your time on the next level thing.
Mm-hmm.
So as soon as you can, you must go and hire for the next role and the next role and the next role, and it's a never-ending journey. So you will never stop hiring if you are going to grow your business. The businesses that don't go very far are the ones who, or I mean, there's so many ways in which businesses don't go very far. But one of the keys is like, the less we believe that other people can take us, or other people can help us, or other people have the skills to help us, the more we get stuck in our own paradigms and we get stuck with our business. But the more we allow others to come and participate and help us, the bigger a business we can build, a better business we can build.
Agreed.
So always find people, always be looking for people.
So true.
Shoot, I had a good one and I forgot it, but I guess I'll say this is that, like, you have to, maybe this will work, which is that someone asked me on, I think, my last live stream, they're like, things are going really good for me, and things seem to just be like clicking along and going really smooth, and it's better than ever right now. What should I be doing when things are going good? And my answer was preparing for when they're going to go bad, because if you're at the top of a wave, you know what's coming next, right? Like everything is a cyclic in life. And so when you have things going good, your primary focus should be not from a pessimistic viewpoint, but you should be looking at knowing what's coming and then making up the plans while you're in a good frame of mind and you have the resources to counter the winter that's inevitably coming, right? I mean, it's essentially the same parable of the grasshopper and the ants, but that's what you should do when things are good, is to know that something bad is and to prepare for that. I mean, likewise, when things are bad, you should know that you should be preparing yourself for the good things that are coming, and just sticking it out, knowing that it's going to come, like understanding that life is cyclic like that. But yeah, I think a lot of people, when they're high on the horse, they forget about that, and they're not mentally, and some of it is just mentally preparing yourself, right? Because when you are doing well, you need to know that you need to be mentally strong for when the tough times are coming, because the tough times always come. They're always coming. And if you don't have that perspective, when it hits you, it's going to hit you hard. And I said a majority of people that achieve success in life, they don't achieve success by doing great things. They achieve success by not undoing the great things that they've done, because most people, given the right circumstances, will perform well. Where people fuck up mostly is when they destroy the work they've already created. They don't make forward progress, because the bad times always come, and then the bad times, they reverse their whatever they've gained and then some, and so they end up traveling backwards. And so the key is to be able to hold the line, to be able to not go backwards. And so that's the key in everything, in business and diet and fitness and relationships and all those things. Any kind of skill that you have, that your biggest danger is that. So when the good times are coming, think about the bad times. So
yeah,
Nice.
all right, cool. Oh, I get to run 25 miles tomorrow, speaking of the bad times. So you want to run 25 miles, Manny?
No, thank you.
All right.
how many audiobooks long is that?
I don't run
It
marathons
depends.
without preparing for them for 3 months, John.
Okay. Yeah. See. Oh yeah. See, you could do it though. Yeah. I think probably 2 audiobooks. So yeah.
No,
Good
it's
deal.
more like 4. No, yeah, 2.
Yeah. 3x speed,
Yeah.
like 10-hour
Yeah.
audiobook. So yeah.
Nice. Enjoy.
All right. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.